looking at a 3rd and 3.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. Watch the ship. Watch the ship, man. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Tight go. Tight go. Tight go.
Operating from the gun, McIntosh. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
And the Saints first down.
Ready. 50, Mike. 50. Hard. Kill. Switch. Just squeeze. Get in there. There you go.
Back to throw. McIntosh. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Here we go. 60 out long. Hey, man. Watch the boot. What happened?
This is Abdullah. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
It's out, it's loose. And this is going to be Packer football. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 23. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets them up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 31-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They go jet sweep here with Williams. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
No. 58. I'm scared.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Here we
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think of
under pressure, and they got to him again. Kenny Clark, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Looking to throw. McIntosh. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And the Saints first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, they go option to the right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. On first down, McIntosh. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Following the penalty, Abdullah. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Off the play fake, McIntosh. Forced out to his left. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Third down, McIntosh. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
That's good for Packers. First down. First and 10.
Let's go, D.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Come on, come on.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Go, go.
Here's Grant. And an alley to run. And a big play there on 2nd down, but we do have a flag on the field. This is in the area where it might be coming back. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. After a fairly uneventful first quarter, that last play, that'll make a few highlight clips.
It certainly will, and you're exactly right. The first quarter almost felt like a feeling out process, didn't it? Both teams, okay, what are we going to do? Looks like they ramped things up just a little bit to start the second quarter.
This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Off play action. McIntosh. Looking long for Thomas. And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run with Abdullah. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
A 2nd down run for Abdullah. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Amir Abdullah. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Amir Abdullah, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Rodgers. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And Adams has it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 43-yard line.
319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Rodgers into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
Exactly right, and you're trying to limit the number of plays and offense runs. You're trying to limit the number of possessions they have. And he was a guy that I targeted coming out of college and rated very highly for his playmaking skills on defense.
And now he has his first career interception. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On the run, Abdullah. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Watch the safety creep.
From the gun, McIntosh. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Slam. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check.
Operating from the gun, McIntosh. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Preston Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Here's Jones. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And his kick is indeed good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
At the 32-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Second and 6. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Throwing on first down. McIntosh. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 90. Whoa. Watch the twitch, watch the twitch. Watch the twitch. Watch the twitch.
They'll run the option right here on first down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. To throw on second down, McIntosh. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Well, they still need 6 yards here on third down after the penalty. Back to throw. McIntosh. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Intercepted. The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant. Jump out. Check. 50. 44, Mike, 44.
Now Rodgers from the gun, he'll throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Rodgers operating from the gun. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun. Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 13-yard line.
It's a gain of 22 yards. That's good for Packers.
Rodgers now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Throwing on second down. Rodgers. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
Now it's Rodgers. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And this is caught at the 8. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Don't get nervous. Hard. Bang,
On 1st and 10, McIntosh. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A toss to Abdullah. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McIntosh looking here for Smith down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week. Now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 1-yard line.
58, 26.
In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Back now at Lambeau as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And taken right on the 30. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Abdullah. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The Packers' 46-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, Here we go. Slam.
Looking to throw. McIntosh. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, McIntosh. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game as now they've got it 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, McIntosh. And that is incomplete. The 4th and very long coming up. You're out of field goal range. I don't know that you can go for this.
Well, I know that you want to, right? You know that they want to say, hey, let's go for this. We've got the perfect play drawn up. Let's do it. But I wouldn't go for it either. I agree with you totally. You're only down 1 score. Punt it. Let your defense pick you up.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, You've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
We got to step it up. Check 24, check 24.
Here's Rodgers throwing again. He completes it to Jones. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
18. 44, Mike, 44.
Rodgers from the gun, he'll throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
To throw on 3rd down, McIntosh. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Hey, check Mike 47.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Throwing is Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taking it about the 36. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Ready, ready. 15 lining, 15 lining.
On 1st down, Abdullah. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Looking to throw on second down. McIntosh rolling to his right. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, McIntosh. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Rodgers going to throw. And some room to maneuver. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
A free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, oh, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Easy. Jump out! Hey, Charlie! 47's the mic. 47's the mic.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Rodgers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Second down at their 49-yard line.
Here we go. 10 Tucson. Check. Cross. General. West. Here we go.
Here's 2nd and 8. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game.
Set. Ready. 60 out wide. We take a win. Let's go.
He can run for it, and he will. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers to the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
About set to get this drive.
Gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Back to throw. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the fourth quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the fourth quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game.